Your Humanities Half Hour is brought to you by the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.
Hapaday Zantiro. Welcome to Your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry. So, let me ask, can you spell onomatopoeia? Okay, well, our guests today probably can. They are the winners of the Spelling Bee at Hopwood Middle School. And it's my pleasure to welcome Christina Achas and Mary Grace Caras. Help me out, Mary Grace.
It's Caras.
Caras. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I'm so happy to have you here. And, you're the Spelling Bee champions at Hopwood, but you're awful quiet. Are all Spelling Bee contestants this quiet?
I believe not.
I know. Thank you for making time to come and talk to it. We were just interested to learn about the Spelling Bee, how it works, why you guys got involved. So, Christina, you are the champion.
Yes.
Tell us, how did you first become involved in Spelling Bee?
Well, it all started when I was elementary. I was 4th grade, so they did this class spelling competition, and whoever won or whoever got everything correct would go to the school competition. And that's when I got involved first time, and then I thought it was interesting, so I continued on.
So when your class did it, did everybody in the class have to join, or did you choose to join?
Everyone had to do it.
Oh, okay. And then you went to the school. And which school was this?
Garapan Elementary School.
And I have to say, if you're now in middle school and you're still interested in the Spelling Bee, you must have had maybe a good teacher or coach who encouraged you?
Yes.
Who was helping you at that time?
My friends and teachers.
Many.
Yes.
Many people. And how do your parents feel about your interest in the Spelling Bee?
They want me to try it out and try my best.
What was it about the Spelling Bee that attracted you versus, for example, there's so many things you can do in school nowadays. Sports, art, drama, academics, math. What is it about Spelling Bee that you like?
I like discovering new words and increasing my vocabulary for the future.
Do you ever have people tell you, like, I don't understand what you're saying? Because you're using words that maybe most of us aren't familiar
with? Yes.
Okay, tell us about that. Does it happen with your friends or your family? Or
friends, mostly friends.
And how does that make you feel knowing that you are using a vocabulary that maybe others have not yet grasped?
It's kind of sad because I want them to increase their vocabulary. I want them to know as much as I do to help other people.
Cool. So Mary Grace, congratulations.
Thank you.
You finished second to Christina. How did you become involved in Spelling Bee?
Like Christina, it started in elementary, in 5th grade. We had to do a class Spelling Bee too. We had to compete with each other, and whoever won had to go to the school Spelling Bee as well. We had to study, of course, and
how much time do you spend studying?
About an hour.
Is this every day?
About 30 minutes to an hour.
Every day?
Yes.
Or almost every day during the week?
Yes.
Now, is that only when you're preparing for a competition, or like you just do this almost all year round?
Sometimes I do it all year round, so next year when I join again, I could become better.
And what elementary school was it where you started?
Culberville Elementary.
And do you remember anybody in particular who was helping you, or who was helping you at that time when you were preparing for the Spelling Bee?
My parents and my friends and a teacher, Miss Tricia De Rosario.
You know, I love the fact that you guys say your friends helped you. I mean, You must have really good friends, because I would think it might be kind of boring, like, okay, trying to pronounce the word and then just making sure that you spell it correctly. Why do you think your friends are so supportive?
Because they want the best for us.
Okay, and I'm sure they enjoyed picking up the words also. Just curious, have you drawn any of your friends into the spelling bee? Maybe they weren't interested, and then, you know, through working with you on your words or seeing what you experienced, do you have any of your friends join the spelling bee because of that, you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Really? So you guys are, wow, you're actually recruiting for the spelling bee. That's pretty awesome. So tell us about your competition at Hopwood. How is this organized? You guys are smiling. Is there something funny that happened? Go ahead, tell me about it. How did you come to be the champion?
Oh, I studied a lot. I studied the prefixes and suffixes and the origins of the word and alternative pronunciations, so that if I don't understand one pronunciation, if there's an alternative, I can use that to help me spell.
Do you ever have a person reading the word who isn't very good and mispronounces the word when they're reading it?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to not only know the word, you have to know if maybe the person didn't say it the correct way, or so you're actually thinking for two sometimes. Okay, so when was the competition held at Hopwood, and how many students participated?
There was about 60 students, and we competed about last week.
And was this all in one setting, or did you have like a couple of days of competition?
One setting.
And how long was this competition?
It took about 3 periods.
Okay. Does it get tiring when you're in a competition? Like, you gotta be patient, and you get to listen, of course, to the other kids spell their words. Does it get tiring or stressful when it's like 3 hours long?
No.
It's enjoyable? You're both shaking your head. You're like, yeah, we love it. Okay, great. So you mentioned that you spent, Christina, several hours a day preparing. And how about you, Mary Grace?
Yes, I did the same.
So for those of us that want to become better spellers, how do you go about studying spelling? How do you get good? Like, how can we be the champion like you guys?
So you should learn its prefixes and suffixes and root words, also its definitions, alternative pronunciations, and words of origin. Like, for example, au fait, it's from France, and it's spelled Aufait, and people who don't know that it's from France may think it's au fait, but it's actually pronounced au fait.
And what does it mean?
I can't recall.
Okay, but you know how to pronounce it, because when you see the word or when you hear the word, that's right. See, I think spelling bee would be difficult for me, because like when people say words, like when you guys were spelling your names for me before the show, like I had to visualize it in my mind's eye in order to spell it. So maybe you guys are more, do you guys think you're more like auditory learners? I'm more visual learners, like I have to see it.
I'm more visual.
Yeah,
really?
same.
So I'm just weird. Okay, that's all right. Okay, so Mary Grace, how about, do you agree with Christina that knowing the suffixes and prefixes and all that, is that how you study also?
Yes, and I also read books so I could increase the words I know and their meanings.
So I've heard that spelling bee advisors or teachers encourage their kids to read a lot. Is this something that your advisor has told you?
Yes.
Yes.
And what kind of material do you guys read?
Fiction.
You read fiction?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, novels.
Novels. Okay. And do you just read whatever you like, or do you deliberately choose particular levels of reading or topics to help you? Or are you just reading for pleasure and picking up words as you go along?
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it would be like hours of just studying. That would
Yes.
be much fun. Would you know if you are at or above your reading level in school?
Yes.
What is your reading level? What grade are you in, Christina?
I'm 8th grade.
And what is your reading level?
As of first quarter, my reading level is 11.4.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
And how about you, Mary Grace?
As of first quarter, I'm 12.6.
12.6. Wow, so you're reading at a college level, basically. Nice. So let's talk a little bit about your advisor. He wasn't able to join us today, but he did help arrange our chat, and you are here with another advisor, Mr. Vinny Orsini, correct?
Yes.
How does he help you guys? Does he help you prepare, or what is his role in helping you succeed in the spelling bee?
He encourages us to do well. He encourages us to study, to read more, so that we can do better.
Yes, he guides us.
And how many of you does he work with? Is there like a club, or how many people is he guiding or tutoring for the spelling bee? Or does he work with all of the students who competed in the Hopwood spelling bee?
I'm pretty sure he collaborates with everyone.
Okay. So the interesting thing, or the exciting thing, is now that you have been chosen as the champion for Hopwood, you'll be going on to the local spelling bee. And when we come back, let's talk about that a little bit. Yes?
Sure.
All right. We'll be back after this break.
Did you know that you can donate up to $5,000 to the Humanities Council through the CNMI Education Tax Credit Program? Donations from individuals and corporations qualify and can be used to offset your local wage and salary tax, BGRT, and earnings tax. Call our office at 235-4785 to see how you can support humanities programs in our community and obtain a tax credit for your donation. Sizuus Maasi, Olomai, and thank you.
Welcome back to your Humanities Half Hour. I'm speaking with Christina Achas, the champion of the Hopwood Middle School Spelling Bee, and also Mary Grace Caras,
Yes.
who won second place. Ladies, let's start off with your experience at the Hopwood Spelling Bee. Were you nervous?
Yes.
Why?
The fear that we might not spell words correctly.
Yes.
So, okay, tell us how the contest went.
Okay, so the rows, first row were 6th graders, second row were 7th graders, and the third row were 8th graders. And so we went in numerical order: the 6th graders, then the 7th graders, and the 8th graders. And how you say the word is you say the word, you spell, then you say the word again. And if you don't follow that, you're automatically out.
Do you get to ask, like, can you repeat the word?
Yes.
Can
Yes.
I get a definition? And I've heard that you're supposed to do that every time. Do you do that every time?
Most of the time, to make sure.
Yes.
Because, see, I did do a little research on this, but it's like you may think you know, but you may be jumping to conclusions, and then once you hear, like, the meaning of the word or hear it again, it gives you a little bit more time to make sure that, yes, you're nodding your head. Okay, so that's good. So that's a life lesson for all of us. Ask questions if you're not sure. Okay, so 6th grade went first, and you guys are all listening. Do you think you knew most of the 6th grader words?
Yes.
Okay, oh, you're both quite confident in that. Okay, and then what happened?
And then it continued on, and then until there were top 10, I believe, top 8.
So once and may I ask, were the top 8 all from 8th grade? Or were there some 7th or 6th graders in there?
There were some 7th and 6th graders.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily just being older and having more time to learn. And, once a student misspells a word, are they automatically, what's the word I want? They're out of the competition?
Yes.
So you only get, you can only misspell a word once and then you're out.
Yes.
Yes.
So you have to get everything correct. So how many words did you guys estimate spell during the competition to get to the top 2 slots? In all, like, how many words did you have to spell to come out number 1 during this one competition?
Probably 15.
Okay, 15, because everybody else got eliminated. Oh, okay. And then so it was the two of you up on stage. What was going through your mind, Mary Grace, when you were going back and forth?
I was really nervous.
And were there other people there watching you? Was there a crowd? Like, were all the other students sitting there watching you?
No, just the judges and the principal.
Okay. And what was going through your mind, Christina?
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I was praying.
Wow, okay. And what was the winning word?
Buoyancy?
Evanescent.
Oh, evanescent. Oh, yes.
Evanescent.
I believe, yeah.
You know, I would ask you to spell it, but I'm not sure I know how to spell evanescent. Do you know how to spell evanescent?
Yes.
And you know how to spell evanescent. Go ahead and spell it for us, and then Mary Grace will help me double check if your spelling is correct.
Evanescent.
Yes.
She's correct. Okay, good. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
How did it feel when you spelled the word correctly?
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
She was really overwhelmed.
Did you cry?
Yes. Almost.
Oh, okay. And how did you feel, Mary Grace?
I was happy for her and for myself too.
Are you guys friends? I mean, like, do you hang out at school? Not really. Okay, so it's not like you help each other study or you have your own study groups. Oh, okay, that's very gracious attitude to have. So now that you have been declared the Hopwood champions, what's next?
The local competition.
Yes.
And have either of you participated in the local competition before?
Yes.
I haven't.
I have.
Tell us, how is that going to work?
It's the champions from around the island and from other islands as well, from the CNMI. We have to sit in seats and we have to spell words one by one, like in the school competitions. And whoever gets the words right, then they could be the champion and go to the regionals.
And I understand the regionals are going to be in Guam.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think your chances are, Christina?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Be confident. Yes.
Thank
you. Well, we really wish you the best. Let me ask, spelling bee, it's really nice to know how to know words and know how to spell words. Is there any other way, though, you feel that being a part of this makes you a better person or gives you certain strengths? Or how do you think being a good speller is going to help you either now or in life in general?
You can help your friends who don't know how to spell.
Yeah, you could
Words and
teach
words.
them words.
Do you guys do that?
Yes.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Well, sometimes they ask me how to spell a word and I help them. I pronounce it for them. I break it down.
Oh, so you don't just tell them how to spell it, but you teach them how to figure out how to spell it.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. Do you think it takes a lot of determination or resilience to be? I can't imagine like spending all of this time studying how to spell words. I think it takes a certain kind of character. Do you guys feel you have any special characteristics being good spellers or reaching this level of ability? Go ahead, speak honestly.
I think I'm normal. I'm average.
Yeah.
You just found something you like.
Yes.
Okay. So, is there anything else you'd like to share before we go today about your experience?
I think that spelling is important because you might get misunderstood. Like, for example, public school, if you don't include the L in public, well, it's going to be pubic school. Yeah, you're gonna get
I
misunderstood.
think I've made that typo once.
Yes, so it's important so that people can understand and you won't mislead anyone.
Okay, and how about you, Mary Grace?
To just study. because studying helps you in almost everything, and you could get to help others by studying.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming in today. Congratulate you again on being
Thank
the top
you.
spellers at Hopwood. Thank you for coming and sharing your story and letting us know that being a good speller doesn't have to involve pulling your hair out. It is actually something that is enjoyable.
Yes.
Yes.
That you can enjoy with others, including your friends. And we wish you, Christina, and all of the other school representatives the best. And we look forward to our finding out who our CNMI representative to the regional competition will be. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Our guests today have been Christina Achas. She's the champion from Hopwood in their spelling bee, and Mary Grace Caras. She won second place, and so pleased to have them today to share their story as young spelling champions here in the CNMI. This has been your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry.
This program was supported by a We the People grant awarded to the Northern Marianas Humanities Council from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Any views, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily represent those of the National Endowment for the Humanities or the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.